beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How are we all? It's great to be talking to you once again. And here we have a tale of woe. Woe is me. As the Greens go completely bloody bonkers, right? Under the auspices of people like Patrick Harvey and that weird mumbling matchstick, Ross Greer. Is that his name, Ross Greer? Just checking. Ross Greer. Absolutely mad. I can't become a warrior teacher, by the way. June. 14 Scottish Green Party members have been kicked out merely for declaring that sex is a biological reality. The rebels were accused of making the party less safe for trans and non-binary members in an official complaint. I hope those 14 people get together and sue the ass off these lunatics and end the Greens forever. Goodbye. It's time that the Greens wilted and died, like spinach in a pot of water. Off you pop, the Greens. Hollywood non-binary members. I'll show you a non-binary member. There's only one of them. Holyrood magazine reports that several members, including long-standing activists who have spent decades campaigning for the environment, have been expelled with immediate effect by the party's Conduct and Complaints Committee, the CCC. That couldn't be more appropriate if you tried, could it? Right. They were accused of breaching its code of conduct by signing the Scottish Green Declaration for Women's Sex-Based Rights. The 8-point statement also asserts that women have a right to maintain the protections enshrined in the Equality Act, that lesbians are same-sex attracted, and that women and girls have the right to discuss policies which affect them without being abused, harassed, or intimidated. We can't have that. You're all fired. You're all kicked out. You're all booted out. We're not having it. You're going, all of you. Go on. How dare you say that women have a right not to be intimidated? How dare you say that people are same-sex attracted? How dare you say such things in the face of the environmental catastrophe we face? Goodbye, fair greens, and say hello to the folks, Gracie. They are literally nuts. Responding to the news on social media, SNP MP Joanna Cherry said, "I'm so glad the SNP Scottish Government is no longer in cooperation agreement with this political party which is so clearly a stranger to the concept of equality and universal human rights. Not to mention science deniers. They are a disgrace and a liability." I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Not really. I've had people who support the Greens, members of the Green Party, environmentalists, who have been on the Warrior Teacher programme, right? And these people give a damn. It must be so galling, to watch the Green Party go, environment? Never mind about that. Blokes in skirts. That's what we should be doing. Come on! Blokes in skirts. Better still, blokes in skirts standing on the grass. Give them a flower. Blokes in skirts with flowers standing on the grass. Save the environment. Yes. Absolutely insane. So it's like they've opened the doors and they've gone, right, okay, we're the Greens. Okay, we're going to rely on the science. It's absolutely, we've got a climate crisis. But you can't believe in reality. Women don't have any rights. There's such a thing as non-binary, and men in dresses are the almighty God that we worship. That's it. That's the new Green policy. That's their manifesto. What's your manifesto this year, Greens? Trans. A total of 14 activists who put their names to the declaration, which was published online in November last year, and also declares that sex is a biological reality. Gosh, having to declare that, but now imagine, were reported to the CCC, triggering a disciplinary investigation. Why? Why didn't the CCC go, have you read this? Right, okay, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong with it? It hurts the non-binary and trans. Okay, we'll start an investigation. Do what you want all the time, forever. Complainants included members of the LGBTQI+ group, the Rainbow Greens. Rainbow Greens. Fruit Loops. Said the signatories had failed to maintain political discipline and broken rules that prohibit the undermining of party policy, bullying, behaviours that constitute prejudice based on sexual orientation or gender identity, and behaviours that constitute a threat to others. It's not possible for there to be a threat to your made-up identity. The fact that you've made up your identity. That's like saying that people who call themselves Napoleon should be respected. There's no such thing as trans. There's no such thing as non-binary. There's no such thing as gender identity. Right? Gender identity is personality. Gender expression is fashion. And you're an idiot. That really is about the long and short of it. The long and tall of it, sorry. One of those who has his membership cancelled is David Jardine, who first became involved with the Greens in 1983. The 72-year-old who rejects allegations of transphobia told Holyrood it's quite clear that the party didn't read the declaration very carefully or very closely. All that it did was assert the right of a woman to advocate for a series of eight beliefs that they had. It wasn't a demand that the party overturn policy, merely that people be allowed to speak without being harassed and pressurised. Some of the women who signed the declaration did so anonymously. Some were members who didn't want to face a disciplinary, others were worried about their safety or their work. Another grandfather, Topher Dawson, said that anybody who questions the party's view on transgender debate is hounded out, although he told the magazine the party leadership will accept differing views on Skexit, despite the party's pro-independence policy. He said, it's not the raison d'etre of the party. If I was a climate denialist, that would be unacceptable. That issue is the reason for the party's existence. But for this issue, it shouldn't be make or break, but it has become that way. You know, whenever you let these people in and wherever you let these people into, I've been doing this week with the Warrior Teachers, they'll destroy it. And I had a guy from university ring me and say, I've got one. What do I do? Luckily for him, his project is safe because somebody else thought they were good and poached them. So they took the loon out of the proper project, put it into their project. Now their project is going to be absolutely destroyed by this social justice nut job that they've employed. Employers need to know how to not employ them. There's loads of ways to do that without breaching the Equality Act. Absolutely loads. The more I think about it, the more exciting it gets. Because we're going to write competency frameworks and recruitment policies that will allow you to spot these falsity gibbons and keep them out. Wouldn't that be useful? You tell me in the comments. Do you think that's something that would be useful? Because I certainly think it's something that would be useful. If we can start to exclude these people. Yep, then the DWP can deal with them. We had some comments from people here on this particular post. This one's particularly strong, from somebody called Dissident from North Britain. The SNP have obviously known about this for years. We all have. The Greens are a serious danger to humanity and should be a proscribed organisation. I've said all along this is a prevent issue. Come on. Where's prevent? This is hard left extremism and it is dangerous and we need to deal with it. Become a Warrior Teacher, buy me a coffee, usual stuff. Go well. I don't know what to call this one. I think I'll call it Green Grow My Nadgers O. Do you remember that? That was a song, wasn't it? Kenneth Williams. Green Grow My Nadgers O. So the Greens have lost the plot. We'll call it Green Grow My Nadgers O. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.